Hello and welcome to another edition of Draw Along with Dan. I'm cartoonist Dan Lietha, and today we are going to be drawing another ape because this is Ape Week. And what you're seeing here is not the ape that I'm drawing, it's just a little sketch that I do of me when I sign books and stuff like that. So just thought I'd throw this in for a bonus. The ape that we're going to be drawing today is an orangutan. So uh, let's make this go away. And now the photo that I'm using for reference is copyrighted, so I can't show that on the screen. So you guys will have to put up with just watching the drawing itself and not the reference. But and I'm going to change my color of. I'll draw with blue today. I usually pick blue or red. Sometimes I do gray. So my digital pencil. So the picture that I have of the orangutan is out of all the apes, these guys hands down have the funniest faces. So this one has the kind of a roundish head, well, maybe more of an oval. And then and you might be kind of confused by that, but this will make sense because, like I said, of the putty faces, the plastic faces, these guys are they fit the strangest faces of the apes, and then you've got the males and their fat pads, and it's just a really funny ape. The mouth on this guy, he's got his lips poking way out, and I don't know what he's doing, but making some sound or something. But it looks like he's kind of give you a kiss or something. But so something like that. And then their eyes are really close together. We'll give him some cartoony eyes. And then they've got this like big forehead, at least bare forehead. And then very furry. And they have reddish brown hair. But that like bald forehead kind of sticking out there. And then hair goes right up to about the sort of under the eye on the cheek, and then down. And then he's got kind of like a chin pouch sort of a thing going on down there. So we'll define that more when I ink this. And again, we're not too worried about the body of the apes this week. We're just mostly drawing heads. Now I'm going to shrink this down a little bit because it's kind of big. And there we go. So they also have sort of a laid back look on their face. Like they're very casual. And the eyebrow ridge type of thing that a lot of apes have. They don't seem to have them a lot, or at least as pronounced as, say, a gorilla. Oh, those guys. Big forehead, big eyebrow things, which are great. But these fellows of the great apes. I was looking up ape information this morning, and there are some lesser apes and great apes. So I think this week we're just going to stick with the great apes. I'll kind of get that mouth right. I'll give it a little smile there, which in the photo it's not. That's not too much of a stretch. Get that halfway line. I've drawn the nose up closer than is in the photo, but that's good for a caricature-ish quality. And then now drawing the eyes on apes, if I'm going to do a cartoon, let's do that. Make, at least it's a little more realistic in a sense that their irises, the brown part, the colored part of the eye for apes, it fills in most of the eye space. And so they have to really turn their eyes a lot for you to see the whites of their eyes. And that gives them a very animal look. And you'll notice, this is bonus, you'll notice that on drawings, artwork, paintings, whatever you have, of our supposed, I say that word on purpose because I don't believe it, supposed ape-like ancestors, pictures, artists will draw like human eyes on these supposed in-between forms. And so they make them look more human, like they're on their way to being human, by treating the eyes like that. All right, so there's our rough sketch. Our funny little guy is just being a funny little guy. So we'll knock that sketch back, and then we'll ink and see how we do. Change my color to black. Close our palette there, and let's get the inking. Now I pick a central spot to ink, and then I build out, and I like the nose, so we'll go with that. And again, ape noses are very, very different from humans. I said this before, and repeating is not a bad thing. One thing you can tell, it's an ape because it doesn't have a nose bone. And if you put glasses on an ape, they would slide right off. So I like to point out differences. They're for sure among all the animals, you know, some of them more similar to humans, if you want to put it that way. They have similarities for sure, but they are not our relatives. And that's very important distinction. So I'll leave the eyes right about there. Finish them later. Trying to get a kind of a fine line between more of a I don't know if you want to call it a traditional fine art approach, or not fine art, but more of an illustration approach versus cartoon. Got these great bags under their eyes too. All right, and then that funny lip thing that he's got going on there. They stretch them way out. Chimps kind of do the same thing. They've got this mouth barrel area that's very elastic. And like I said, very, very funny to look at. And a lot of the expressions that apes make, we interpret in a certain way because we operate that way. And so we think, oh, that's what they're doing because that's what it looks like when we do that. But I was studying up on chimpanzees once upon a time, and you know, a lot of the time when animals show their teeth, that is not meant as a friendly thing. And so you'll see pictures of chimpanzees smiling. It looks like they're smiling, and they're actually not. That's more of a threatening type of thing. They're showing their teeth, saying, "Hey, you're gonna mess with me, you gotta deal with these." So we have to be careful about how we read into things with animals. And orangutans have these very wispy, light hair around the head, at least, and they look like the redheads of the animal family, or at least the ape family. Very unique looking. And then and that wispy, try to get some light. Flowy hair. I could draw like 5 different orangutans for this ape week just because they're so different looking. Depending upon age and sex, and because those males, like I said, they get those big fat pads that grow, and they look like what they are, but they're very different looking from anybody else. It's like they have a mask on. If you know what I'm talking about. The big fat pads are just, they stand out, just put it that way. All right. And then we'll do the eyes. And like I said, one of the keys for making this particular ape is that their eyes are so close together. I said I was going to do cartoony eyes. These sort of are still, if you look at the reference. They're a bit different, but maybe kind of an in-between realistic and cartoony. Because cartoony eyes would be kind of like I drew in the little sketch that I opened up with. They're just circles with dots in them. And I'm going and drawing in an iris and a pupil, and so, and then when I draw an iris, and I'm just inking it, I like to give sort of a feel for the coloring in the eye, even though this is just a black and white drawing. So let's put in just a touch of detail. Give this thing some form. Just try to put in some more touches to give that hair some volume. So you can tell everyone, yeah, I watched Dan give he was volumizing the hair of an orangutan today. All right, and then the inside of the mouth has some shading in there because it's very shadowy, dark type of thing. So let's go ahead and do that. And give kind of an indication of form inside the mouth. And then I'm going to give sort of a little touch of form to that bottom lip. And then there's some... Now it's kind of a interesting dilemma here with shading right here, because it's so close to the fur that these lines here kind of look like hair. So, but if I add some lines that go the other way, then it doesn't match the lines of the hair. So I think that helps distinguish that. And then there's some shadowing underneath the lip there. Give that some more shape and stand out. And then I could... The lips are a focal point for sure. A point of interest, put it that way. So I'll throw in a little more detail there. And he's got some interesting shading going on the bridge. You can't say the bridge of his nose because there's no... It's flat. It's just flat, and then there's these little two holes that kind of appear in that area. So that's how the face of an ape works in general. And the eyes, again, are a feature, a focal point for sure. So detail on the eyes works pretty well. And so there we are with our orange fellow. He would be fun to color too, but we'll leave that out. Finished by signing your name, my name. Lietha.com. All right, let's make our sketch go away. And there we have our orangutan. So thank you for joining me today on this edition of Draw Along with Dan. I'm cartoonist Dan Lietha. Join me next time. Please like, share, subscribe, all those things. Help me grow this channel and provide some good, clean fun and art instruction. And hopefully this will be a benefit and a blessing. So thanks for watching.